Okay, good afternoon, everybody here. So we are going to start quite soon. So first, let me welcome you to our SP Expand event. And this talk is one of the item on the event. So I can see many of you are wearing this so-called tag, and you have to clock the certain station. And I think after that you probably get a souvenir or some kind of a goodie bag, I'm not very sure. And at the same time, you also will, for the current students, you will also be awarded CCA points. Okay, so let me introduce myself. My name is Chi Chung Yang, right? Call me the Chi, from the School of Triple E, lecturer from School of Triple E. So we have a mix of audience here, and our three speakers are sitting in front. So maybe to let them understand the mix of the audience here a bit better, can you just show your hands as I call out the category? Who are our alumni here? Any of the alumni? Just don't mind a bit, raise your hand a little bit. Okay, good. Welcome back to SB. All right. Two of our speakers later will also be are also our alumni. Okay. So welcome back to SP. It's been 3 years. We are one day early because by next Monday, I think next Monday we don't have to have a letter of entry to come in. Okay, in accordance with the DOSCON Green, right? So no mask, no letter of entry required. But today I think you probably still required. Okay, I presume the rest of you are our current students. So let me just have a show of hands. How many of you are from the School of Triple E? Okay, good. School of Triple E. Yep, welcome. And how many of you are maybe from SOC? School of Computing. Yeah, okay. We also have representatives from School of Computing. How many of you are maybe from CLS? Okay, MAE? Okay, good. Mechanical Engineering, MAE. And did I miss any school that I did not say because I was thinking maybe the CLS may not be very keen. Okay, any school that I did not say, anybody? From other school that I did not mention just now? Okay, so most of them are from the engineering cluster, all right, and maybe the School of Computing, and a big part of them, a big group of them are from the School of Triple E. Okay, while the people are streaming in, I think we can very quickly, we can start very soon. Just give me a minute to set up the. Okay, so let's call this to a more formal start. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's talk. And the title is Data-Driven Economy as the Future. Skills to future-proof your career. So many of you are current students or young alumni, and you want to know what's ahead of you in a couple of years. As we all know, the world is rapidly revolving and technology is driving this change at an unprecedented rate. The advent of big data and increasing use of technology to collect, analyze, and interpret this data has led to the rise of the data-driven economy. This economy is transforming the way businesses operate and creating new opportunities for individuals with the right skills and expertise. Okay, today we're here to talk about how you can position yourself for success in this new data-driven economy. To help guide our discussion, all right, I'd like to share with you some of the top skills, all right, that are going to be expected to be of high demand in the next decade. One of them will be a data analysis and interpretation of data, the ability to collect and process data. And the second one will be artificial intelligence and machine learning, which one of our speakers will be covering. And and also in the areas of cloud computing. All right, cloud computing is revolutionizing the way businesses store and access data, and this expertise in this area would be highly sought after. So I hope that this coming here this afternoon will allow you to open up your mind and learn from our experts here. And also the third speaker is a very young alumni. He thinks he's many years graduated, but compared to when he said a few years, 10 years is a long time for me, 10 years is a short time. Okay, so it's relative. All right, so I feel he's a very young alumni and his experience will be very relevant to you. So you can look forward to hear from them. Okay, so, and I would like to encourage you to note down some questions along the way. And we will have a 15-minute Q&A, but if the speaker would like to take your questions as and when they come along, I think I'll leave it to them to tell you. Okay? Yeah, so the important thing is I feel that every time you come for a talk like that, if you just listen for 45 minutes, you may gain something. But if you ask one question, you will gain a lot more. All right? So if you have active participation, the information will be more relevant to what you want to know. Okay? So without further ado, I would like to first introduce our first speaker and bring on our first speaker. His name is Mr. Alan Ho. Now, let me have a quick introduction of Alan. He's a long list here. As I read, I may cut short out them. Okay, Mr. Alan Ho is one of our alumni from the Singapore Polytechnic School of EEE and is a distinguished career. Alan is currently the Vice President of Marketing at the DataStax. Now, we're excited to share that DataStax has just come into the partnership with SP this morning, and with School of EEE to bring leading edge, open source, cloud native, and streaming technology to the classroom. Right? Alan is an experienced marketing veteran with over 20 years in the information technology industry, leading either APJ or global teams. He is a firm believer in innovation, and he is an advocate on utilizing advanced analytics to transform the way leads are generated with a focus on creating the exclusive experience for customers, prospects, and partners. Now, before DataStax, Alan held various leadership roles in TIBCO, Intel, Red Hat, and SAP, and several others. And Alan is also an adjunct faculty for the School of Information Systems at Singapore Management University. Today he'll talk to us on this topic. Operating with speed and scale is a business imperative. Are you ready for this? Alan, please.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm going to start the stopwatch because because we have to talk about this in 15 minutes. So I'm actually an old alumni. Win is the young alumni. I left SP back in 96, 97. I cannot even remember the year I graduated. So let's talk about real-time data cloud. Right. So when SP first approached me, the question is, what topics can we cover to address or to show you some career that's out there? So in my spin is, I'm going to talk about how technology has evolved in the past. I would say pre-pandemic to post-pandemic. Right. A lot has changed in the past 3 years. So I work for a company called DataStack. It's a 100% open source company. So what it does is it basically take an open source project, they make it enterprise ready so that enterprises can consume it. And what we do is we'll focus on a certain problems that we're trying to solve, and we'll talk about why we are solving those problems. Okay, so I'm going to make a bold statement. Operating with speed and skill is imperative to all businesses. Agree? How many of you still feel that when I submit a complaint, it's okay to receive a feedback after 3 days? Or do you prefer I submit a complaint, this company better get back to me in the next 5 minutes, or else I'm going to social media and I'm going to badmouth you, I'm going to complain to all my friends and yada yada yada. Got it? Right? So we are no longer that impatient. Sorry, we are very impatient. We are no longer patient, right? So companies are facing with a lot of market pressure. One is if you do keep track of what is happening around the world today, you realize that the tech sector is going through a very turbulent time, right? Every other day, you'll see huge concern about overrun of costs, over hiring, and so on and so forth, right? Now, that is internal problem, but the investor expectations still expect the company to accelerate growth. So you can see that the economy is down. It doesn't mean that the businesses are not expected to grow. Unfortunately, we are in a world where everything we do, we are dictated by shareholders, we are dictated by investors. So we are expected to accelerate growth. And in order to accelerate growth, we actually have to maintain efficiency, right? So in order to maintain efficiency, the main purpose is to reduce operating costs. And this is where you actually have to streamline your operation, you know. And it's not as simple as I want to cut 5 people out of 10 and the remaining employee will just take double the cost. It's not that simple. We only have 8 hours a day. If we work 16 hours a day, we still cannot do that effectively. So operationally, we need to streamline quite a fair bit. And the last point is actually engage customers. We, as I said, we are no longer patient. We are very impatient. And the way that we judge whether a product is good or not, a lot of time, the customer experience is one of the key factors. So the product can be bad, but the experience is good. You still can take it. If the product is good, but the experience is bad, who likes Starbucks? Do you think they have the best coffee in the world?
No, but it's okay.
Sorry?
No, but it's okay.
It's okay, right? But I love the experience. I love the experience that, hey, do you want whipped cream? Every single store that I go to asks me a consistent question. Only when you can achieve that consistency is where it maintains a loyalty, right? So to do that and to engage, from a technology point of view, it needs to be very fast and it needs to do it at scale. So we are in a world where market is really unpredictable, right? Past 3 years, you guys are, if you're graduating, okay, unfortunately you start your school when we are all supposed to study from home, or I'm supposed to teach from home and you're supposed to study from home, right? Today, you finally can graduate and we finally can remove our masks from Monday onwards. But in the grand scheme of things, the biggest hit is actually the supply chain, right? Any factory that's shut down has a repercussion effect, and that immediately actually locked down, right? The ability to consume a product, and that immediately drives the GDP to drop. The only reason why GDP maintained high in the past 2 years is because of government funding, right? So now we are seeing the effect because the government funding is gone, right? Political tension is becoming a real problem. You might be too young to even keep track of it. I guess US and China is not really friends because of the weather balloon that flew over US. I quote unquote weather balloon, right? Somebody calls it spy balloon, somebody calls it something else, right? Whatever that is, right? The war in Ukraine, it is far, but the repercussion is huge. Ukraine is one of the largest producer of wheat. You know wheat is used for what, right? It's not just our noodles, huh? It's to feed the chicken and the cows, huh? That is the impact, right? And then if you couple this with all the inflation that's happening, the economy is projected to be negative. However, the job data actually doesn't seem to indicate that, because there are seriously jobs out there, right? So I personally think that it is challenging, but it is at a point where we have to reinvent ourselves, right? The traditional way of getting a job might not be the same. So if you speak to me last 3 years and say, hey, join the vendor is the best. Now I say, join anybody is the best, right? Get a job first, don't talk. And of course, when we come to data, we talk about privacy and security. Yeah? So if we take speed and business skill, and we kind of like put it in the horizontal y-axis, and then what you have in the x-axis, you have business agility on one side, you have customer experience on the other side. The world is no longer forgiving, so time-sensitive decision is actually very necessary. So if you guys have experience in learning AI in your school, or those who came back from outside workforce, AI, ChatGPT has changed and immediately threatened quite a few big boys overnight, right? And when I say threatened, I'm not talking about the few threatened. It resulted in job termination, departmental closure, right? And suddenly rethink, not just innovation, the legal framework that wraps around AI and ML. Because they suddenly realized we're at a point where AI and ML can actually impact legitimate answers and results. Have you all read the report that they did a bar exam in US using ChatGPT, and the result is a C+? I take it. Right. So time-sensitive decision is necessary. The new way to work is here to stay. And I would say that even the new way to work is no longer consistent. It changes every 3 to 6 months. And I am in the environment now, right? Everything has to be streamlined. Everything has to be measurable. And everybody expects innovation everywhere, right? So what is done traditionally might not be the proof case of what is going to happen in the future, right? So as you guys enter into the workforce, if you're expecting consistency and stability, think again. What I want to really tell you is embrace inconsistency and instability. The earlier you can understand that, the more survivable you are, right? On the other side, customer experience, our expectation on customers is beginning to grow significantly, right? So customers are expecting any software vendors or any service provider to provide top-notch solutions. Even as simple as you go to a restaurant when you place an order of food, right? It's long gone now where you can take your time, you're not happy, you wave your hand, and then waiters come, right? There are chances that you wave your hand, there's no waiter coming. Right? I'm not sure whether you experienced that. Sometimes you see a restaurant, quite a big restaurant, 2 waiters. That's it. Because you're expected to place an order yourself. So anything that impede the experience tends to be negative to business. We expect customers to be very engaging, right? As I said, social media has changed the world that we engage. They are more negative than positive, right? We complain more. We praise less. It's a bit of a human nature. Something that is good, we keep quiet. Okay, it's good. Something is bad, wow. Throw knife, throw axe, everything also throw at the person. And then hopefully he'll say sorry and then you feel happy, right? So in order to ensure that the customer experience is good, it resulted in personalization is actually very important. Everything that we do requires personalization. So if you watch Netflix, it's personalized, right? If you shop in Amazon, personalization has been around for a long time, right? And more application is leading towards very high, accurate personalization. Again, this requires real-time data to achieve. So, the real-time defined leading business, Priceline did a dynamic customer offer, pretty standard, right? Home Depot basically used technology, right, to actually enhance customer experience. The interesting about Home Depot is what we call as multi-channel. Another word that we use is called omni-channel. Customer no longer interact with you in a single channel form anymore, right? I like to see something online, I like to go to the shop to try it, but I will end up buying online. Do you all like Running Lab? I love to go Running Lab, but I never buy from them. No one from Running Lab, I hope. Right? The reason is this. I like to go Running Lab, and I like the shoe, and I go on the treadmill, I try. I like this. I go online and buy. So, if you can tie the channel together in a very effective real-time manner, right, it's where you deliver a multiple effect in customer experience. And the last one is actually real-time track, right? In the world that I'm in, when we talk about real-time data, this is real. If you ever read the news that came out in the past 2 weeks, you see how much money, it's billions of dollars, hundreds and millions of dollars that's being lost by scammers, right, that affected us. You know, to me, when I read it, I couldn't believe it. I say, how can someone with a heart can scam $1 billion off people, right? They get away with it. Now, technology can stop it. If you have a good AI and ML engine and you have a good real-time data capture, things will change. Unfortunately, we are not there yet because the data are not integrated together. If one day we can achieve that, right, is where we can eliminate real-time track, right? Of course, this goes beyond financial. You can eliminate many things. So, the second bold statement I will make is this. Within 5 years, every new application will be real-time. So today, if you are doing a final year project, you are not real-time, I ask you to think about it real-time. Think about scale, think about agility, think about real-time, right? Those who are entering into workforce, if you are into AI, ML, or going to university, think real-time, right? If you cannot achieve real-time, you'll be obsolete or you'll get your competitor will catch up really fast because real-time is the key. The faster you are, the better you are. So nucleus or real-time, we are talking about instantaneous access of data. Now, the technology that data stack that I work for works in is actually sitting in your pocket. How many of you use Instagram? Do you realize that you post your photo, someone in US can like it immediately? The only way to achieve this is a very fast speed of read and write, transmitted over a very large geographical region in a near real-time manner, right? So instant access of data. If you're using iPhone today, every time you log in using your Apple ID, the backend is a technology called Apache Cassandra, right? It allows you to transfer data in real time, right? The second thing is built-in intelligence and capturing time-sensitive data. We're no longer talking about looking analysis on data based on historical data. We are talking about analyzing data in flight. The actual word is data in flight. So before it reaches, if you have data traveling from point A to point B, before it reaches point B, your data is already captured and analyzed and has prescribed a relevant action. So the technology behind it is called streaming, right? We have not come to a point where streaming is that fast yet, but this thing will explode the moment 5G gone mainstream, especially when 5G go into smart city as well as manufacturing. We are talking about globally distributed operation and data, customer data, right? Gone are the days that we say, hey, data is in Singapore only for Singapore people. No, everything that you build is supposed to be global, right? Unless China and US decided to split the world into half. Then we have two worlds, right, to solve this problem, right? And last is everything is cloud native, right? I have a different thoughts about this, but I will agree in most of the cases, but there are certain cases cloud native is not the direction. And we have this thing called the multi-cloud. So what it means is, even when you go cloud native, how do you get your solution across many different cloud providers, right? This is a new class of real-time app. So we did a survey with 500 CIOs. 71% actually says the organization can actually directly attribute revenue to real-time data directly, right? Out of 500, 71%, 355. Correct? No. About that, right? So if you think about it, any company that you go through, they actually say that real-time data, if you can manage it, they can directly attribute to a revenue. And of those who can attribute to the revenue, 2.3% more increase in revenue. So what you'll see is actually for a full business benefit to go near real-time. I use the word near real-time because there's no such thing as real-time. Make sense? Me talking to you, my word coming out from my mouth, reaching your ear, split seconds different. Alright? So, in real time, in reshaping the data set, so in the world today, until 2025, the world is expected for the data in the database to grow by 3 times. Real-time data is expected to grow by 10 times. Right? So that is how significant you are. So again, if you are into this field, data is actually very important. Data is the new oil, and we say this about 10 years ago. We are still saying it. Okay, reality is far too challenging. We have skill problem, right? We have complexity problem, and we have cost problem, right? And this is why anyone who enter a corporation, right, you realize that you want to do all this thing, it's almost impossible to do it overnight. It actually requires quite a fair bit of re-architecture. So a lot of company actually has an old architecture that cannot solve this problem. So it's potentially it might even lead to rip and replace. So if you ever want to do things like that, give you a template. How does a real-time data cloud looks like, right? First of all, the stack has to be fairly modern. When I say modern, right, we are moving towards a lot of open source projects that actually address this problem. The stack has to be built for developers, meaning developers don't have to relearn. As long as you know Node.js, you know Python, you actually can do it pretty. It must be built for a developer to embrace it easily, right? It must be able to scale. Okay, no need to explain. It must be open and extendable. So I'm an advocate of open source. My first collaboration with SP is actually when I was in Red Hat. Anybody know Linux? Right? So I'm actually quite surprised that almost 15 years later, the program is still on. So this is how far we have gone. Built on cloud economics. Cloud economics meaning everything will turn into subscription model, which almost all of you is already on. You subscribe to Netflix, right? The subscription model. Right, you pay anything by monthly basis. You're already subscribing, you're consuming it as a service. And the last one, it must be enterprise ready. Let me see. I'm overdue. Okay, so please use data stack if you want to. Okay, build fast, scale, and without limit. This is what you do. And just to give a take note, right? So none of this is actually, of course, me in marketing. This is marketing. There's always a measurement of how successful companies are when it comes to real-time data. So you can have a look, but I will not go into much. And I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you, Alan. Right, so if you have any questions, please jot it down. And towards the end, we'll have some time for you to ask questions. Okay, the next speaker I'm going to invite will be Miss Irene Boey. Boey. All right. Irene is currently, we come forward. Irene is currently with the data strategist and consulting director. She spent many years in Integral Solutions Private Limited, working specializing in data mining and the application of AI for customer acquisition and retention, long before AI became the fashionable buzzword. Right? No. Experience. Okay, Irene is also an adjunct lecturer at the National University of Singapore in this area. And she has a long list, and I'll just name one or two of them. She's active in the local entrepreneurial scene. She's the chairperson of the SME Center for Entrepreneurs by Enterprise Singapore, and president of University Women's Association Singapore, and many, many others. All right, without further ado, let me invite Irene to talk about what is data mining and what skills to be equipped to do data mining. Irene, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chi. You signal me, okay. In case I'm overdue, okay. Yes. Yeah, sometimes we are too passionate about the topic that we just forget time, huh? And then okay. Well, my segment is a little bit dull, data mining. Who likes data mining or who don't know or know data mining? No, bring down the hand, everybody. Like, why are you here? Okay. Now, data mining is that, the dullest job in the whole thing, right? Because it has to do with only data. Let me talk to people, is it right? Let's examine. Now, what is data mining? As a adjunct lecturer, I always do definition first, right? So the data mining is the process of discovering useful information and patterns from large amount of data, right? So that means there are a lot of data coming in, right? As you know, we are digitalizing, and everybody is doing digital transformation. Even they don't know what is digital transformation. All companies just jump in, right? Because our government give money. So everybody jump in and don't know what's digital transformation and continue to do. But anyway, so the data miner has to be there to actually analyze, clean the data, identify the patterns, and build models where necessary to meet that business objective, to extract meaningful insights, and to make predictions where necessary. Of course, it depends on the objective. And data mining can be used in any field, like whatever Alan has brought up, all those applications. The heart of it is data mining. You really need to analyze the data, bring it out to the device, and outcome for whatever objective that you need, right? For example, different industries, right? Cut across industries, cut across application. As long as you have data, you need to analyze the data, right? So it can be finance, healthcare, retail, so on and so forth, right? Okay, what's the role, the skills? Right. Now, data mining actually involves the collection of data, right? Of course, you're going to collect the right data. You sort of organize it properly, analyze it, and deploy it, right? So who are the people who's doing that? Many, many names. When we started in 1992, the company, not me, I'm still young, so because okay. So basically, when the company started in 1992, Integral Solutions, we call our engineers just engineers because we say simple name will do. So they are just doing the data. Then later, it evolves to knowledge engineer. Then the engineers were quite happy. What knowledge engineer? Very nice. That was in 1990 something. Maybe before some of you were born, I think. Okay. So then you have so many names coming out, all doing different things, right? Like for example, a data engineer. What does a data engineer do, right? Architect data pipelines and then ensure operability. And then you have data steward nowadays because of the what? PDPA, right? Confidentiality of data, must keep your data properly, right? Ethical things, right? So you have data steward to ensure the governance of data is kept, right? And data scientist, of course, is the one that basically I'm doing to actually strategize, right? To actually look at, gain actually look at data, to look at the strategy, and to let the company has deep insights so as to, you know, meet their business objective. And of course, some data scientists actually only look at algorithm, right? And you have business analysts who work with the direct users, right, to understand their requirement. Usually these are business users themselves, right, and help them to analyze the data. And you have app developer, those who doesn't like to talk too much to people. App developer, basically, you know, like programmers, right, actually doing the coding and so on. Now you have no code kind of thing, right? So I don't know, it probably interrupt the programmer's job. But actually, don't be so serious about what are the, you know, the roles, because all this will change. Like you see, the world is changing, right? There are many things, and then the roles become redundant, and then some new roles never imagined will be out again, right? But actually, overall, data mining doesn't just, or a data miner, what skills does he need? Is it technical skill? You thought, wow, yeah, so many things are all technical. So it should be technical skills very important. Yes, although technical skills are important, like for example, some of them know programming. Not necessarily you need to know programming, depending on what role you are doing, right? Database management, analytical skills are a must. If you can't even analyze or you don't have logical thinking, forget about data mining job. It's quite tough, right? So, and then statistical, probably, yes, you need some statistics still. You need some machine learning skills, right? As well as you need soft skills like communication. And now I'm talking to you, right? Because basically, if you do not know how to bring that result and talk clearly to the business users, it's useless, right? So you need communication skills to actually present the result and insights to the stakeholder. Some careers involve, of course, it's a growing field now, because all companies are, you know, digitalizing or digital transforming their operations. So everything is in digital form. You need a lot of data mining people, right, to actually help to get the right result, right? So you have data scientists, business intelligence analysts, data analysts, machine learning engineers, so on and so forth, big data engineer, some fantastic names which I cannot even pronounce. Okay, anyway, it requires combination of skill, right? If you look at all these skills, yes, some people ask me, oh, is it a must to learn Python? Yes and no, depending on the role, right? So, yes and no, right? And statistics, yes and no again, depending, right? And visualization, yes and no. But visualization is important because you really need to look at the data in a visual format to an exploration so that you can know what to do next, right? Whether the data is skewed, less skewed, or whatever, right? And the most important, actually, is data preparation, data cleaning, pre-processing. Now, why? That is 80% of the data miner's job. And that one, very difficult to learn from a school. I tried to come up with a course to do that, not possible, right? The school can teach you Python quite easily. School can teach you algorithm very easily, machine learning skills and all that. But to teach you data cleaning is tough. Because data cleaning involves many different things, right? How the data come to you and what you must, you know, pre-process, transform before the data can even be used. And this one dependent on the environment actually, right? So I remember there's this guy from Oracle, first time he actually maybe got into data mining. So he was, when he went there to the very large organizations, you know, place, and he was shocked. He said, Irene, you got to come along. I said, why? He said, I can't imagine the data is so dirty. I don't know how to do. You know, so you really need to clean it, right? So that is tough, right? Data cleaning, and then of course knowledge of database is very important. SQL, right? And other databases, so that you know how to plug and pull out the data from where, extract, join, and all this. Knowledge of machine learning algorithm, important, right? But there are so many algorithms, right? So you need to know which one to use. And also, of course, communication skill. You know, it's a combination, right? Communication skill so that things are like when you do your requirement study, you don't misunderstand the customer. When you present the result, the customer don't misunderstand you, right? Okay, this data scientist job. Many things they do, right? It's quite diverse, but just give you an example of what we do as a data scientist, right? Our job is basically to help the organization interpret and manage the data and solve complex problems, whatever problem it is, right? Through a variety of different type of data that they may be holding, right? The responsibility is actually to identify data, valuable data sources. You need to pick which data sources, what type of data you need for a certain mining process, right? And then you have to also look at the data collection process, whether is it right, is it wrong, right? What are things you can improve, how do you refine it? And you undertake pre-processing of structured, unstructured, and nowadays got many types of data, like images and so on and so forth. Of course, it's not done by one person, but the data scientists overlook it in some cases, right? In some cases, the data scientists say no. All the rest of the people look, I'm only concentrating on algorithm, right? Okay, to discover trends, patterns, predictive models, and so on and so forth, right? So, data scientists, skills, all this, right? Not necessarily exhaustive, right? All right, so as we say, data mining requires a combination of technical plus soft skills like communications, right? Now, why? And you actually, a very important attribute of a data miner is intellectual curiosity. What is that? Anybody knows what's intellectual curiosity? Nobody put up a hand. Okay, intellectual curiosity is somebody who's always like a pest, always ask you why. You know this thing, why? Why can't I do another way? So you analyze data in very different way. You cannot do it with just one way. Because only programmer do it the one way, right? Basically, okay, you program this to that. You do it one way, or there are only few ways to do that. But in data mining, there's a wide variety of ways that you can get the answers, right? And whatever the company is doing right now may not be the correct process. Okay, so you need a lot of intellectual curiosity to be a good data miner. What I'm trying to say is an excellent data miner. You can be an okay data miner without that lah. Okay lah. So, but patience. I heard Alan say nowadays people know patience. I don't know lah. Maybe we can't find younger generation who are good data miner, because data miner day in day out, are there looking at the data and trying to do something, right? Like this, CRISDM. This is cross-industry standard process for data mining. It's a worldwide methodology, which is used by data miner even today. It's already 20, 30 years already, right? And it is still used by data miner. Because, and you look at the flow of these phases. There are 6 phases on the, I'm not teaching CRISDM here. I teach CRISDM 5 days. Okay, so it's quite thick. You can also go Google and search, or check GPT and ask. Okay, there are a lot of things in this methodology that all data miners use, because it is tool neutral. The data, this is a methodology that you can use any tools, but the phases are important. These are 6 phases. But you see, the phases are not like from 1 must go to 2, must go to 3. It's not like that. It's not linear. It is backward, forward, backward, forward. So you see how much patience you will need, right? You do it, and all the way you go to step number 3. It's like snake and ladder, And go back and redo. All right, go back and redo. All right, so patience. Data mining process. This, I think most of people know, right? You put the data from the right sources, prepare and clean, very important. And you spend about 70 to 80% of your time doing that. Transformation of data, very, very important. Because without a good transformation, you can't get a good result, right? You can get a result, but may not be good. And worse still, you can get a result, may be misleading and you didn't know, right? Then you explore, and then you do discovery using the different algorithm, different method, and then you go back again. And then you see how when you utilize the data, that's the other real test. Whether is it correct or not, whether you use the knowledge and you put it into a business, does it make sense, right? Did it give you the result that you want? Okay, so the 6 phases of CRISDM is very important. Now, 3 types of data mining data analytics, call it. Not, of course, it's not only 3 types. For this class, right, most commonly used nowadays are the descriptive analytics, predictive analytics, or prescriptive analytics. I think you heard of it. Of course, there are others, cognitive and so on and so forth, right? So what are the difference? You know, these 3, are they very different in approach? Yes, of course. Descriptive analytics doesn't need to use machine learning, no AI, right? It's just using, you can use your Power BI, your Tableau, right? Business intelligence, those are descriptive. Why? Because you just need to put the data, the current state, into a dashboard. It can be very beautiful dashboard, beautiful graphics, right? To tell you what is happening to the organization currently. Current state, that's it. Current state. These are, you can query many different things, visualize many things, different things, using statistics, using visualization tools, a different type of dashboard. Predictive. Predictive is using machine learning. You need to do that. Machine learning AI to actually predict what could happen next, right? And this, you hear the usual, you know, either deep neural network, artificial neural network. Now, artificial neural network deal with numbers, deal with actual structured data, right? Deep neural network deal with mainly images and all this. Rule induction, clustering, association, all these are different techniques, right? Used by AI to do prediction, okay? And then you have prescriptive analytics, which takes it further, right? It sort of understand what is going on now, then it diagnoses what happened, and then it prescribes to you what to do next. So there's a prescription, right? Like doctor giving you a prescription once you see a certain symptom and give you a prescription, right? So prescriptive techniques basically is actually telling the users what to do, what action to take to eliminate a predicted problem, right? So at least, you know, you can reduce the whatever issues that the organization face, all right? So this is like in a very quick, you know, because I'm given 15 minutes, very quick run through of all these techniques. And of course, you know, this evolution of all the different techniques and adding more. So you can imagine after when you graduate, maybe different things again, more things, right? Okay, this is Gartner stating that it's very important. Data and analytics are very important. They're key accelerant of an organization's digital transformation, actually, right? But very few organizations think it is important. But now I think they're getting to, you know, to wake up and understand that it's very important. It's not just doing something without a good analysis. You know, they may be misled. Actually, there are many, since our 20 over years of existence, our company, we actually went into companies, and a lot of companies actually deciding on the wrong dashboard. They actually got dashboard coming out, and they thought, oh, dashboard is good, it's fantastic. But it depends on what algorithm or what analytics method, which is just now I brought up 3, right? If they're using this just descriptive, they may be actually misled, you know, and they are misled. And they make the wrong decision, and the company keep going down, and they don't understand why, right? So the correct analytics makes a big difference. And also in one of the organizations that we did, a large telco, they were actually losing market share, and they were doing descriptive, they were doing some AI. Then when we go in, we did a more complete one for them, and they were actually able to find out why customers are churning, leaving them. That means, you know, when the customer leaves them, they lose revenue. From second place in Indonesia, they become the 3rd place. But with the right analytics, only by doing that, they actually bring their revenue up again. So they do not need to fire anybody, but just looking at the data carefully, the more correct way. Okay? So the process is important, and it has been proven through my years of involvement in data mining, that data mining actually help organizations increase revenue, increase their market penetration, and also increase the customer retention. Okay, I don't have time to bring in a lot of case studies, but there are many successful case studies, even customer testimony, to say that, wow, this is something. When they relook at their data, they found the answers, they found the insights that get them to the right decision. Okay, now integrated solution 30 years. In this company, I'm supposed to talk about a little bit about integrated solutions. You can actually, if you want to gain actual practical experience, because when you look at the book, do theory classes, a bit tough, right? And just do data mining, all the theories, right? So you want to, if you want to get yourself involved in real projects, integrated solutions is a company that has been doing only data mining or data analytics for all the 30 years they are there. So we don't do any other business, right? So our solution has won Microsoft Worldwide Award and also the SG Tech Award. Now, some opportunities, what are opportunities? So those of you who are interested, right? We are already a partner of Singapore Poly. So for the AI students or any students who are interested in this, to participate in our real life project, to understand how to work, how to really, what is data transformation, what does it mean, right? And to improve the model, okay? We also have internship program available, right, for you if you are doing the, I think we have done few batches already, right? And the students were very happy, even wrote in to thank William. William Fu here is actually our technical director and chief architect who actually takes care of the student, who is the mentor of these students. And other opportunities for students to work with us, and also for SP to collaborate with us on some AI projects that can impact the sector. Okay, so if you are interested, you can contact william@datamining.com.sg. So we have this very easy to remember website, right? Email address. Okay, so I think I am still within the time. Yes, thank you very much. If there's any question, please ask, I think, during the question and answer. Thank you. I hope this is helpful.
Thanks, Irene. So I think we noted some points. All the data analytics skills, visualization skills, persuasion skills for marketing, and so on and so forth. And think about it, in SP, we are preparing all our students. Okay, we've introduced the Common Core curriculum. And this morning, one of my class in the year 1 was all dressed up. And I said, what are you going to do? He said, oh, we have a presentation for one of the module where we do use data to do persuasion. All right? So in SP, we are always constantly changing our curriculum, updating our curriculum to prepare you for the near future, And as for experience, we have a long 5-month internship program, all right, to learn how to clean data, sort of things that you cannot learn in the classroom. Okay? So, okay, next speaker I'm going to call, thanks Irene, thank you very much. Let's give her a round of applause. Okay, the next speaker I'm going to bring up will be Mr. Myint Aung. All right, he's a senior engineer at SMRT. Myint, please, you can set up your system. Okay, Myint is our young alumni here. Not much different from all of you sitting here. To me, okay, but he says he's not that young. Okay, Myint graduated in 2015. He's a gold medalist from the Singapore Polytechnic. For those people who are in the first year, if you don't know what's a gold medalist, he's a top student for his school. He's a gold medalist with a diploma in merit from the Triple E, all right, specializing in power and control. Right, he then continued his studies at NTU, specialized in a similar field in power energy, and also graduated with distinction from NTU. Okay, upon graduation, he started work at SMRT Power, North-South line, East-West line. All right, so his core work include very high voltages, 222K, etc. All right. In addition, he also took on several projects with like Changi Airport Extension Relay Replacement, Changi Depot Electrical Key Interlocking Projects, all right, and so on and so forth. Now, he is currently also involved in transiting to work on LTA Asset Renewal Project, which is a $500 million upgrading project. Now, today he will also, besides sharing a bit of his experience, he will also be sharing with us the impact of digitalization and on the SMRT. So you can see the data-driven economy transcends all sectors in the economy. Okay, Myint, please.
Thank you you, Mr. Chi. Thank you, everyone. I would also like to thank the first two speakers, I think Alan and Irene. I think we learned a lot from their sharing, all those AI and data mining. So just one quick question. Does crypto mining same as this data mining? Different? Okay. I believe some of you all will be interested to know now. Nowadays, I think youngsters very aspire to be FIRE, financial independence, retirement early. So, okay. May I know how long do I have? Sorry, okay, I'll try to be quick now. So, just okay. A very good evening, everybody. So I believe just now I think Mr. Chi has asked which faculty are you from. I think most of you are from EEE and MAE, right? Mechanical. I do believe just be open mind for those of the students that are not in engineering field. Actually, SMRT has a lot of a lot of opportunities. Okay, we are in fact sunrise industry with all upcoming Jurong region line, which will dominate across the Jurong. I think Choa Chu Kang all the way to NTU, and we also have one very big line will cut across the island from Changi Airport all the way to Ang Mo Kio and cut Merici all the way to Stevens, down the Clementi, all the way to Tuas. So it's definitely a sunrise industry, and there will be a lot of opportunities for every one of you here. Okay. So of course, in terms of fast pace, we are not like AI and data mining. It's split second, but we are also. Let me share an example. If the train delay for a split second, it's okay, right? If the train delay for 10 seconds, still no problem. 1 minute, okay lah. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or you will start to feel the impact, you see. So we are also a very fast-paced industry lah. It's not come here, it's very stable, no kind of thing. No such thing really. Nowadays, the commuter experience, the expectation is very high. Anything happen, start to complain everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, everywhere have. So okay, without further ado, so SMRT is a public transport system. So mainly our core business is train. Okay. Aside from train, we have taxi, we have buses. Other than that, we are also venturing overseas. Under the stripe, we have the overseas exposure and business there. We are doing consulting at the overseas, quite several projects overseas around the globe. So we also have experience, we call it Stellar, is also to handle the real estate side. For example, all those shops that you see in Orchard Station, Exchange, Raffles Place, you see a lot of shops in the MRT, right? All these are business arm of SMRT. So we are actually quite a well-versed and diversified business. It's not only limited to engineering, we also have non-engineering perspective in the company itself. So just to brief through, our vision is moving people, enhancing lives. Okay. Mission is to deliver a public transport service that is safe, reliable, and commuter-centric. So I'm just going through this is because later on we will have one quiz. So we are also giving out vouchers. So a lot of answers you can find from here. That's why, bear with me. Bear with me. Yeah, pay attention. Okay, so our core value is respect, service and safety, integrity and excellence. Okay, can Okay, give your hint ready. Want you all to be engaged now. Okay, so SMRT focus to provide a reliable, not only reliable but sustainable. We are very much focused on the sustainable way, because when you hit certain achievement, let's say 1 million MKBF, we have already way across that. But how much resources more for me to put to this achievement to sustain and improve daily? So this is very important. So sustainability is very important to us. So and of course continuous improvement. Our the SMRT adopt the Kaizen Kaishan. Kaishan is the Japanese methodology of I must be better than yesterday. Okay, so this is the continuous improvement that we adopt in one of our core values. Okay, so a journey matters, you matters, your work matters, your progression matters. Okay, so I'll run through all these with my experience with the photos to tell you that, to convince you, it is really you matter, your work matter. Okay, so a lot of career perspective. rotations, you can actually transfer out to do different things and come back to your main post. We also have, I think, subcontract. You can be subcontract to LTA as well if you are interested to. And subsequently come back to SMRT, not going to SPSD. So, it's our competitor. But friend, nothing happens, friend. We work together. Okay, so this is the EMA journey. Okay, so as you can see, maybe you will spot me somewhere in the photo. I think a lot of photos. On the right one, I think at the corner sitting me, that was me in 2019. So 3 years older now. 3 years older only. So it's quite fun. So you will get to have this experience and join this EMA program after you have pursued your degree, I believe. Yeah. So but before that, of course, there are a lot of positions opening for you to join first SMRT and eventually will lead you to be in this program when you graduate from university. So okay. So introduction, this is me. So I graduated from Poly in 2015 and I moved on to NTU in 2019 and graduated in 2019. Specialized in power in diploma and bachelor's. Okay, so I also did a postgrad under SMRT sponsorship. So there are a lot of all these career, not only career your progression as an engineer, the pursuit of your further studies, we also do sponsor So I graduated in 2010, last year. And career, since graduation from NTU, I joined SMRT as an engineering management associate for about half a year. Then subsequently, I was posted to maintenance for about 2 years, which was very ground and very rooted engineering work, which I believe some of you all will be very interested. As an engineer, I do believe that you have to be on site, hands-on with all those technical work instead of sitting in an office and making phone calls. That will not be the engineering work. So I'm right now in power project. I'm still doing it right now. It's at the last lap of the project. Since the project started off in 2019, so it's been for about 4 years. So it's towards the end, last lap of the project. As you can see, there are many early closure, late opening, all these kind of news, announcement. It's all because of this replacement work. So do bear with us. We are bringing a more comfortable ride to every one of you. Okay, so this is the EMA journey. So once you are enrolled, you will go through a common courses. You will make friends. And as a company, I find that not many companies actually has. In fact, there are companies that do have this program, but one of the takeaway from this program that company actually ambition to have is they allow you to interact with all your peers before your work. So you will actually have that kind of bond with everybody, at least most of them are in your own peers. So when you actually posted out to your respective department, one phone call, one message can settle a lot of things. Trust me, it's very efficient that way. Rather than you sending email, and I don't know you, you don't know me, that kind of thing. So this program is very important. This is the gist of it, to have that kind of bond. So okay, this one I will try to run. I know I'm losing some of you already. I can see. So let me just okay. I'm not sure if you all can join this through the pin. Wait. Okay, this is the game pin. Let me know if I think I may be able to see your name. Can you all join? Nobody join. Can? Okay, Ma. Boleh? No boleh. You all don't want the voucher. Oh, cannot. Okay, let me. Oh, technical error. Cannot connect. Oh, oops. Okay, let me try to run one more time. See whether. Okay, sorry, don't mind. Try one more time, please. If cannot, we can do the manual. We still have to give out the voucher. Okay, can. Only 3 Traditional. See, SMRT always has the backup plan. Very good, right? Okay, you just raise your hand. I'm going to pick randomly. So, who knows the answer? Raise your hand. Okay, like. Okay, sweet lah. $10 goes to you. Okay, what is the full name of SMRT? Like? Yes, transit. Okay, let's go. Alright. Very good. Okay, so Strike International is the business arm of SMRT. Yes. Okay. This gentleman here, second row, the black color shirt. Oh, mine is okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay. So Stellar Lifestyle is agent managing all those. Oh, who else? Yes. Yeah. The one wearing the Under Armour. Alright. So I'll go on to this. Okay, live. Cannot take the answer. Okay, you try again. I think I saw the girl raising on, right? I raised for him. Okay, I try again. How many? MRT, Our opponent not included. No lah, we are one team. Huh? Sure. Sure. Okay, so how many LRT? Light rail. Yes, the girl in the center wearing the green color. One. She's holding up the hand. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Okay, what is the full name of LRT? Who is the one raised hand? Yeah.
Yellow.
Yes. Who say one? Okay, the white color shirt gentleman. Thank you. So what is our vision? Moving around. Yeah, who? Okay, corner there. Correct. Okay, what is our mission? Okay. Try again. Yes. Very good. Sure, go. Very sure. Okay, very sure. Go to very sure. Okay, last one. Give him a chance now. Okay, core value, blue. Yes. The red is also correct because the red is blue. The lady sitting there. Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you everybody. So whatever you do, the takeaway is you must have a backup, okay? Okay, so next one. Okay, I'll be sharing more on the, as I'm from electrical power system. So as mentioned again, not to be discouraged by this, there are many other opportunities. I'm just sharing a glimpse of what is the role as a engineering electrical point of view. Okay, there are mechanical, if you are civil, aero, we also have other relevant role. Permanent way, for example, our track, maintaining of the track, point machines, where you throw the point to let the train to go certain ways. Okay, we also have a rolling stock. It's rolling on the stock. The train is the body. Okay, there are a lot of upcoming renewal projects. As I mentioned, it's a sunrise industry. So, and we also have a signaling and comms signaling system. It controls how the train moves, where the train moves, how fast the train moves, where to start, where to stop. All these things is controlled by a signaling system. There is no man operating on any of our trains in any of our lines. Okay, so just to give a brief introduction on the electrical system in the power point of view. So we have intake 66,000 volt from SPBG power grid. So we step it down to 22,000 volt for our distribution network across north, south, east, west, island-wide. So from the 22 kV, branch out to two. One going to the service transformer, which is 22,000, step down to 400 volt, around there, 415, 400 volt, which is to use for our station, fan, escalator, lift, lighting, everything else you see in the service, services in the station, that is used by that 415 voltage. So we also have another branch from 32 kV to 557. So that is used for our rectification. We will rectify AC to DC, become 750 volt. That is for our train to move. Train uses DC system to move. So it's the floating system now. So okay, yeah. So these are the assets that we maintain. Okay, all the way from 22 kV, 750. We have a rectifier, inverter, rectifier transformer, service transformer, inverter transformer, and we also have the UPS. We also maintain the cables. We have emergency genset. It actually pairs with our SCDF lah. So when there is any emergency or terrorist attack, for example, you can actually run into one of our civil defense stations, which is located in underground station to have a bomb shelter. It's totally safe. So we need to have this emergency generator for you to have ventilation system, lighting system, for you to hide inside. So we have many other subsystems now. So it's a bit of technical, so I may not be go through. In case if you are interested, I will stay back and answer all your questions now. So okay, just a brief one. So since 1986, we have used this first type of generation of breaker for our traction system. This is where the train draw the power from. So from your left all the way to the right is the revolution. Since 2018, we have adopted a very sturdy and very reliable breaker. We call this a high-speed circuit breaker, HSDB. Okay, it's from Hawker City, Europe. So we have been widely using in our network for our tracking system. As you also can see, our protection relay to ensure that if there is any fault, we will isolate the fault. So to isolate the fault, this relay will come into place to trip the breaker, to trip off the supply. So I think at home also you will see sometimes your MCB trip, right? It's the same principle, but it's just more complicated. So we also can see from electromechanical type, you can see tick-tack there, to electronic space, so which is in the aircon condition. Electrical principle is the same. It's only we are moving along with the technology. Our old assets are also being renewed and move along with the technology. So this is a very rough map of MRT. Okay, I believe you all are very familiar. We have I think we have east, right? We have the Changi Depot Changi Depot, which is where the trains are stable to serve the first train at the east region of Singapore. We also have somewhere in the Bishan, I believe here, Bishan Depot. This is the biggest depot, okay, in SMRT, which is to serve the train across north-south. Mainly it's on the north-south red line, east-west line. We also have another depot, two more depot called Ulu Pandan and Tuas West Depot. So all these we have. Every time when there is a ending of revenue services, we will withdraw all the train to respective depot to do the maintenance, to do the checks, everything, aircon system, lighting system, everything is intact before we can send this train to out for the revenue service. So, okay, this is just a glimpse of what I am involved. I think power asset renewal, 500 million project. You can actually Google it, LTA. Asset renewal 500 million, you will really see the detail of the project. So there are shifting of big equipment as we call this as a brownfield. Okay, there are two types of project in SMRT, greenfield and brownfield. Greenfield is the field itself is very new. The system is not operationalized, so we call it greenfield. Brownfield, this is called brownfield project. Why? Because the asset renewal means you are renewing the old asset. So already in service. So it's a bit chao-ta, so we call it brownfield project. So this R153, the 500 million project is a brownfield project. We are upgrading the power asset. At the same time, we are ensuring there is no interruption to the service that is currently have across North South East West line. So this is a typical layout of electrical equipment in our substation. We have 22 kV transformer, rectifier, inverter. And we also have not only the power equipment, we have like power engineering initiative. We are also using predictive maintenance. What is predictive maintenance? We do a condition monitoring. We monitor the condition of the equipment to cater our maintenance regime. So if let's say this equipment did not break down for 1-2 years, based on that condition, we will increase our frequency. Maybe we do yearly to 2 yearly or 3 yearly. So we streamline our maintenance process as well, and we also less reliance on that manpower involved. So we have many initiatives. For example, battery monitoring system. Last time, if you want to know the battery voltage, you have to manually go and measure the voltage. But right now, everything one click from our main control center, you can retrieve all the data you want. Okay. So there are many other things. I'll be staying here to answer all your questions if you have queries. So digitization, we also have, for example, our track access management system, TAMS, is used to deconflict because we have a limited engineering hour. Our engineering hour is start from the end of revenue service, about 12 a.m. in the midnight, all the way to 4 a.m. So within these 4 hours, if you want to work in the certain sector on the track, everybody is fighting for the same slot. So who is going to be the priority? Maybe if I give you, other person may not be happy. So we use this system to deconflict, to prioritize if your work is urgent, not urgent, we will differentiate accordingly now. So it's a digitization. We also have a mobile operating maintenance system is to store all our maintenance records. Okay, so as and when you want to do the trending records, everything is in the database. We also have other like knowledge management system and permit to work system, all online. Okay, so just experience, quick one. So as you can see, our work involves many side work. As you can see, there are smiley face. Also, you can see one of the photo sitting down here is very stressed. That day something happened, so we are scratching our head in the substation. So not all days are happy days. So this is the recent photo that taken. I think all the way to LTA, the very big head, the CE, the CEO also came down to witness our last lap of intake transformer replacement at our Bishan depot. So it's a collaboration with LTA, a contractor, and SMRT. Okay, so fun time outside of work, we also, I think this is where we bond lah. If you just come to work day to day, I mean, it's quite a very dull and, not much fun lah. So outside of work, we also have fun time lah. We go and, this is painting a house. We help this old uncle to paint the house, to clean, to throw away all those japalan thing lah. Inside a lot of items inside his house. So we have frequent gathering with all our management, lunch, all these things. Okay, so other than that, overseas opportunity. So since I've joined SMRT, I think 4 years, 4 years this year, I went 2 overseas trips. One to Korea in 2019 to witness with LTA on the cables that we purchased. And in 2022, last year October, I went to Czech Republic to witness the software that we purchased. So you will have many opportunities during your core work, outside of work, and overseas opportunity. So yeah, also okay. Last but not least, chartered engineer. If you are aspire to have a chartership in Singapore, it's recognized by IES Institute of Engineers. There are about 300 plus engineers so far under the railway sector. So of course, with this recognition, company also recognize you and have that extra bit of allowance now. Okay. Of course, not only that, outside you are also well recognized because it's by IES, it's not by SMRT. So okay, I think that's all for me. I thank you everybody for your time. Okay. If there's any question, just feel free to ask any of us. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Win, for the interesting sharing. I think many of you will be going to the workforce in a couple of years, and that was probably very good information. And you can also see that the digitalization and the data and everything is cutting across the industry. SMRT cannot continue to grow without all these skills, without all this technology, and therefore you have to prepare yourself with this kind of skills. Now, we have come to the end of today. Unfortunately, we overrun quite a bit and we don't have time for Q&A. Please stay around. We'll go over to T11. I think there's an SMRT booth, and I think Irene, some of them will be around.